What's up, guys? I just wanted to get on here and talk about the Dallas game real quick. Um, I was going to make a video after Buffalo, and literally after the Buffalo game, I was so mad that I couldn't make a video talking about all the issues with Dallas's defense and how overrated they are. Um, Now, after the Miami game, it's too much. It's piled on, and it's a video that's been overdue for years because it's something that Dallas has struggled with for years, regardless of personnel, regardless of coaches, regardless of anything. Dallas has continued to struggle with this year in and year out, over and over and over and over again. And it's the basics of the run game, run defense. It's unfucking real. It's unreal. And for those of you who are Notre Dame fans, stick with me here. Notre Dame was pumped up all year. Best offensive line in the country. Joe Alt, first round pick, and this guy is going to be a first round, and this guy and that guy. Notre Dame, they can out physical anybody at the line of scrimmage, and Notre Dame's got the best offensive and defensive lines in the country. I watched Louisville push Notre Dame around for 3.5 hours. And I watched Joe Alt, who's supposed to be a great first round pick, get freaking thrown all over the field. Like literally bull rushed and tossed over by fucking Louisville defenders that were 40 pounds undersized. Notre Dame had the most overrated offensive line in the country. They're not a physical football team. Outside their running back, Estime, he's a stud. Dallas needs to go get him. They need a physical back. But anyway, outside Estime, not physical at all. Totally overrated offensive line. Hartman ended up making bad decisions, doing a lot of shit because he's constantly under pressure because their offensive line's overrated and sucks. But, digress. It's the same thing with Dallas. All I hear is, Dallas's defense is so great. Oh, Dallas's defense. Oh, Dallas's defense. Oh. Dallas's defense is not good. Dallas has a shockingly average defense. Dallas, I would say, if I had to rate the defenses, Dallas is somewhere between 10 and 15. That's what their defense is. And I don't give a shit about the stats and the rankings and the this and that. You put them on the field against a good team, they're somewhere between 10 and 15. That's what they are. Because they cannot stop the run at all. They have never been able to stop the run the last 4 or 5 years. Because Dallas is increasingly undersized on defense. Which is why we saw Arizona run all over Dallas. Why we saw San Francisco put up 40-plus points, run all over Dallas. Why we saw Buffalo put up 40-plus points, run all over Dallas. Why we saw Philly in the game at Philly have success running the football against Dallas. Why we just saw Miami tonight on the closing drive of the game punch Dallas in the freaking face 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plays in a row. Run, punch him in the face, and we're going to go get a field goal. Because you have Marquise Bell, who I like Bell. He's a great coverage backer, but he's a safety. He's been a safety his whole career, and they say, oh, we're going to put him down in the box. Because they were so excited about Demarion Overshown, who I think is going to be a good player, but they were so excited about Overshown, they said, we're going to try to replace what we were going to do with Overshown with Marquise Bell. He's too small. He can't play in the box. He can't play linebacker. He can play linebacker on 3rd and 15. He can't play linebacker on fucking 2nd and 6. Because guys are literally look at like Buffalo tape and they go, yeah, we're going to get a 310-pound guard who's going to get up in Marquise Bell, who's 215, 220. We're going to get a guard who's going to get up in his pads and push him all over the field. It's insane. You can't do it. He's undersized. Damone Clark is undersized. Your defensive line is undersized. And here's my biggest beef. Here is my absolute biggest beef. Is Micah fucking Parsons. Who knows pass rushers get the biggest bags. They make the most money. Pass rushers make the most money. That's my issue. That's my beef. So we've heard over the last couple weeks, Micah Parsons, when people are saying like, hey, you guys struggle against the run. Maybe Micah Parsons should play off the ball. Micah says, oh, I'm a pass rusher. I'm a pass rusher. I want to rush the passer. I'm a pass rusher. You're not a pass rusher. You're 235 pounds. You're not a pass rusher. You're not TJ Watt. You're not Nick Bosa. You are not guys who can play from a pass rush defensive end position 3 downs. You cannot do it. Now, am I saying Micah Parsons is not a pass rusher in general? No. Micah Parsons is a great pass rusher. But that's all he can do from the defensive end position is rush the passer. You can't have him playing defensive end on 1st and 10 when they run the ball because he can't take a 325-pound left tackle and hold him up and stand him there and stop him from running down his throat. That's why San Francisco looks at Micah Parsons and says, we're going to run right at him. Because they know they can just blow him off the ball and push him back and run stop. That's why Miami can look at him and say, we're going to run right at him because we're going to blow him off the ball and run stop. That's why Buffalo said, Micah Parsons, where's he at? That's the side we want to run to. Because you got a 230-pound guy at defensive end, the tackle knows, oh, yeah, it's not really that hard for me just to seal him in on a run block and let the guy bounce. He cannot stop the run from a defensive end position. And Micah Parsons is a phenomenal athlete. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he runs a 4.4. If he runs a 4.4, that means as a backer, he can play backer. He's big enough, physical enough at 230, 240. He can plug holes as a linebacker. He can plug holes as a backer, and he can run sideline to stop horizontal runs. That's the big thing. He can run sideline to sideline. So at that point, he can run, go stop runs, plug holes, and actually make an impact on the defense that he can't do from a defensive end on 1st and 10 with a 325-pound tackle, getting up in his pads and tossing him all over like he's a toy, which is what we've seen from Micah Parsons last few years, not to mention the fact that Micah is a good pass rusher, but it really comes down to the fact that when you break it down and you really look at it, what happens is we've seen it year after year after year. Parsons comes out hot, he comes out on fire, everything happens, and then all of a sudden, back into the year, he into the toilet. Where's Micah? We haven't seen Micah in 6 weeks. Well, why? Because it's physically taxing to get the shit beat out of you 60, 70 plays a night, getting these big offensive linemen up in you, blasting the shit out of you for 17 weeks. That's rough. It's tough. And we see Parsons fade because he's too small and he doesn't have the stamina to hold up against those guys for 17 weeks. He can't do it. Not to mention the fact that that's kind of the unique, awesome thing about Micah is, yes, he is a good pass rusher, but with his speed, with his agility, with his athletic ability to do other things outside of pass rush, that's what makes him such a game wrecker on defense. Is you can put him a linebacker and he stops the run. You can then switch him and make him a blitzing backer. He can be the backer that's blitzing and get off balance with a 3 or 4 yard running start, and he's so fast to really juke and get guys off balance at the line of scrimmage and get consistent pressure as a backer, get pressure off the edge, get pressure in coverage, play coverage against linebackers and things that are too big for corners and slot safeties and things. You can do so many things with Micah. That's what's so fun with him on your defense is he's so athletic. You can do so many things with him. But I'm going to be perfectly fucking clear. He is not an every down pass rusher. He's too small. He can't do it. He can't physically handle it. And the only way Micah can be successful as a game wrecker is to move him around so the offense doesn't know where he's going to line up snap to snap and put him in blitzing linebacker positions, put him in pass rush positions, put him in drop and coverage positions, put him in run stop positions as a backer, and do multiple things with him to have success because he's not big enough or strong enough to be an every down pass rusher. He will never be Bosa. He will never be TJ Watt. He will never be JJ Watt. He will never be, God forbid, I can't believe people ever brought it up, he will never be Lawrence Taylor. He has to be moved around the defense to be doing multiple things at the same time, to be used in multiple variations to give him and set him up for the best levels of success on given downs. That's what he has to be. And right now, with him as an edge and Bell as a backer and everything else, what teams do is they come in and they just punch Dallas right in the fucking face and they run it down their throat all night long because they can get linemen on guys that are 30, 40, 50 pounds undersized, whether that's Parsons, whether it's Bell, whether it's even Damone Clark, who's a little bit on the light side as a backer. All these guys, they just get up in them and move them all over the place, not to mention the fact that Dallas just doesn't have any dogs. They have 0 dogs on the defensive side. Nobody who's just going to sit there and say, no, I'm not having it. This ain't going to happen. Nope, absolutely not. I am sticking my nose in here and I'm breaking this the fuck up. Nobody on Dallas can do that. Absolutely nobody. And it looks like, which what I wanted, which looks a little bit like a wash now, but out of who we could have had, what would you rather have? Another weapon at tight end with Michael Mayer? Or Mozzie Smith, who's been a complete, total freaking bust. Because he's a big gorilla weight room. Oh, I bench 600 pounds and I squat 700. And you're like, oh, he's an immovable object. He's weight room strong. He's not football strong. He's not football strong. Somebody like Micah Parsons is football strong. Now, Parsons is undersized and guys can move him around. But the fact that he can hold up even as well as he does at his size shows that he's football strong. He's grown man strong. Mozzie Smith is, oh yeah, I bench 600 pounds. How's it translate on the field? Do you throw tackles out of the way? No, I get bull rush. Or I get fucking bulldozed. He's not grown man strong. And he can't fucking handle offensive lines coming at him. He gets pushed out of the way, gets pushed around. Mozzie Smith's a total freaking bust. The defense, especially the run game, is totally fallen apart without Jonathan Hankins anchoring that defensive line. Total freaking bust. And right now, I would much rather have Michael Mayer as another offensive weapon. And I'm not saying over Ferguson or anything, because I love Ferg. I think he's playing really well. I was a huge Ferg and Hendershot supporter, saying these guys are both going to be stud tight ends. But I would much rather have Michael Mayer versus Mozzie Smith getting pushed around all over the freaking defense. I mean, it's just absolutely pathetic. We need backers. We need defensive linemen. And it's just a total mess, man. It's a total mess. And so, book this. Dallas, if you want to win games, take Micah off the ball. Take him off the ball, let him play his natural position, which is linebacker, and then move him into a pass rush position and keep him fresh on clear pass rush situations, or move him over there on times when you want to create pressure. Move him around like you did his rookie year. Play him at backer, play him at end. I mean, at his rookie year, they played him at freaking corner at times. Move him around. Let him guess where the hell he's going to line up, this and that. And play with defenses, play with alignments, and keep Micah fresh, and let him use his athleticism and his speed to play in the run game. And we saw that in the Miami game. They started playing him off the ball in the second half. Every time Micah played off the ball, guess how many yards Miami gained in the run game? Zip. Nothing. Because then you had Sam Williams, who's big enough to play the run as defensive end, and DeMarcus Lawrence, who can play the run as defensive end, busting up plays in the backfield as DNs, and Micah and then Damone Clark and Bell and the rest of these guys flowing to the ball because they're busting it up in the backfield, making these guys bow their routes, bow contact, and then flow to the ball. Micah off the ball. Just the fact that he was off the ball caused a lot of problems with his ability to go side to side. That's what Dallas needs to do. I don't give a shit about sacks. Sacks are great. Dallas has DeMarcus Lawrence, who can get sacks. Sam Williams, who can get sacks. Dorrance Armstrong, who can get sacks. Dante Fowler, who can get sacks. Odigizua coming up middle, who can get sacks. Mozzie Smith, on a given situation, can get sacks. Jonathan Hankins, on the right scenario, can get sacks. Dallas is loaded with guys who can get sacks. What they're not loaded with is guys who can stop the run. They're very light. Micah Parsons is one of those guys. At the linebacker position. So you put him at backer, let him do his thing, and then you can move him around, and you can blitz him as a backer, and then you can line him up at end here and there, and you can move him around, like I said, and do things with him. Let him play off the ball, and then move him around accordingly. It will work, and you will start to see Micah have a bigger impact on these games, which is what we desperately need as a defense. Desperately need. The other side, the offense, our red zone troubles, they're going to start coming back. I know Brandon Cooks got the touchdown here late in this game, even though we lost. Dak and Cooks connected and got a touchdown late, take the lead. Why in the hell were we throwing on first down from the half-yard line? Give it to Pollard or Dowdle or whoever the hell you want to put in there. Or run a quarterback sneak. I don't care. You're on the half-yard line. It's first and goal from the half-yard line. Run it 4 fucking times. And if they can stop you from getting a half yard 4 times, they deserve to win the game. Yeah, if you get blown up for a 2 or 3 yard loss because somebody misses a block, okay, well then yeah, second or third and goal from the 5, okay, yeah, maybe we'll throw the ball. But we're going to run on first down. Oh, we got stopped at the line of scrimmage. We're going to run on second down. Oh, we got stopped at the line of scrimmage, or we gained another half a yard. We're a couple inches closer. We're going to run it on third down. We're going to run it on fourth down. And if you want to throw a little tricky pass in there somewhere, so be it. But all these teams do this. It's not just Dallas. They get too tricky inside the goal lines. Run the ball. It's half a yard. If your offensive line and your backs can't get half a yard, you don't deserve to win the game. Period. And then they decide, first down, we're going to get tricky. And they decide to throw it. And same miscommunications all night with Edoga. Chubb comes free off the edge, sacks Dak. Now all of a sudden it's first and goal from the 12 instead of first and goal from the half-yard line. And luckily, Brandon Cooks and Dak bailed out McCarthy with the throw and catch of the year. Come on, guys. There's some things that aren't that hard in football. And running the ball 4 times from the half-yard line is one of the things that's very simple. Very simple. Playing a guy who's 230 pounds, who was a linebacker his whole life at linebacker, and moving him around for pass rush situations and putting him as a pass rusher and blitzing him as a backer and using him as a run stopper. It's pretty simple stuff, guys. It's really, really pretty simple stuff.
He's still doing that. He said, I am exhausted right now. He's such a special group of guys. I'm so excited.
Only silver lining, Stephon Gilmore didn't get seriously hurt. Because if Stephon Gilmore got seriously hurt with our corner depth, with Diggs already out, you could wrap up the playoffs, wrap up the Super Bowl, wrap up everything. And if they don't make some serious adjustments with Micah playing off ball and stop playing around the red zone, you can wrap it all up anyway. But anyway, guys, just had to get that off my chest, the fact that Dallas is not a top-end defense. And the big thing with Dallas is you can literally, in the words of DeMarcus Lawrence, based on his quote after what he said after the Eagles game, based on the words of DeMarcus Lawrence, you can take Dallas and punch him right in the fucking mouth over and over and over and over and over again, and they can't respond. And some of the things we just talked about are the only way that they have any chance to, and that still might not help, but it's the only way you have any chance to respond. But right now, they're light in the box. They're light in the run game. Micah's an overrated pass rusher. He's a good pass rusher, but he's overrated. They can't do the things that they want to do. And it's just an absolute travesty that everybody keeps building them up as this lockdown, fantastic defense. They're not. They're shockingly average. And if you want to get physical and beat them up and push them around, you can. And it's really embarrassing and it's sad. But It is what it is. All right, guys, that's my venting. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys liked a little bit of the feedback. Let me guys know what you think in the comments, and tell me some of your ideas. And tell me what you think about my takes on the schemes and the offense. And until next time, guys. Thanks for ruining my Christmas, Dallas. What up, kitty? Ooh. Thanks. No early Christmas gift. Later, guys.